we support the bill, but it needs further study pa from the DILG pa for if ever meron po kaming employees, if we have employees that will be affected, the would be employees that will be affected by the right sizing of the national government. As for the attached agencies of the DILG, for example, the PNP and the BJMP and the Bureau of Fire Protection, siguro sir, they have their own staffing pattern po kasi.
Exempted sila, darling.
Yes, sir. Opo.
Hindi sila kasama.
Yeah.
Forgive me, attorney.
Yeah.
That's a standard answer. And quite frankly, you are in no position to study it further because the executive presumably wants this. This is an administration measure. And I don't think any office in the executive branch is entitled to hold a different opinion, given that the president has decided that he wants this. Any concerns you have with respect to offices that may be positions that may be abolished, you course it through the committee we will be creating to handle right sizing. Again, if there is a need for you to create new offices, that would be the best time to do it. Because again, to remind you, right sizing is not only abolition and downsizing. It can also include the creation of new ones that you may need, given the call of the times. If you have any position paper on the matter, kindly submit it to us, attorney. Please, thank you. Do you have a rep from DepEd here? Yes, ASEC Galban.
Mr. Chair, the Department of Education fully supports the right sizing move. In fact, we are currently developing the school organizational structure and staffing standards in preparation for a possible right sizing move as part of this bill.
Again, we will include provisions that ensure na yung position, yun yung function which DepEd has not been able to do for several decades already. As in, since I became a member of the Senate, I've been fighting for DepEd to actually have its own career path for administrative positions, which will culminate in being a principal, because a principal need not be a teacher. A principal should be an administrator. Ang problema, pag nag-transition yung teacher, ang pinakamataas na pwedeng posisyon ng teacher, principal, di ba? Pag nag-transition siya doon, teaching item pa rin siya, counted pa rin as teaching position ng principal, but he or she is not teaching anymore. Again, which is a disservice. You're paying a high salary to teachers and yet they're performing the functions not of a teacher. They're not inside the classroom, which is unfair, to say the least, for teachers who are actually performing that function. I don't know when DepEd will be able to finally do that. Is there any plan, ASEC Galban?
An ongoing effort, Mr. Chair, is being conducted in order to
Yung
evaluate.
ongoing effort niyan, dekada na yan kailan nyo tatapusin yan?
Mr. Chair, just to interject, we're actually working on a bill to come up with a clear career path for teachers,
And none,
for administration, and also for supervision, Mr. Chairman. We're in the middle of a technical working group, and later on we'll be sponsoring that on the floor.
but in
So-
the meantime, again, you have teachers not functioning as teachers, receiving the salary of teachers for the past several years, decades even. So you can clearly it's cheaper to hire a casual, di ba, a job order worker to perform the function of a clerk than continue to let your teachers perform that function instead of teaching inside the classroom, thereby lowering, ideally, the student-to-teacher ratio. Again, Yusek Wong, let's include provisions to that effect. Baka pwede natin singit dito yun eh. Yung police, trabaho ng police, sundalo, trabaho ng sundalo, teacher, trabaho ng teacher. As a precondition. Kung ayaw nila, di magpa-right size na lang sila. Di ba? Baka sanay na sila sa madaling buhay na hindi sundalo, police at saka teacher, di ba? Di magpa-right size na lang sila. Pa-file mo na yung bill yan.
Sponsor ko na. Pagpasok.
Actually, tagal na rin yan.
Maganda yan.
Tagal na rin yan. DNR, do you have a rep from DNR? Namria? Wala nagpunta? Wag na lang kaya natin sila i-exempt. Wala naman sila dito eh. Ha? Parang hindi naman sila interesado o takot at hindi naman talaga ako kumbinsidong uniform sila eh. Ano? Ano? Hoy. Ikaw naman, di naman talaga uniform yung forest ranger eh. Nangbobolahan lang tayo dito eh. Were they invited? Huh? They were not invited. DNR hindi. Ay, hindi pala pwede. Hindi pala na-imbita.
Mr. Chair, per data, we have 264 uniform personnel po under NAMRIA. Those are the forest rangers po.
Gusto niyo talagang i-exclude sila? No, clearly they don't belong to the same category as the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, the Philippine Coast Guard, BJMP, BFP.
Because of their classification, Mr. Chair, they are similarly situated with uniform personnel.
O sige, ang Bucor kasama hindi.
They are excluded, sir.
Saan nakalagay? Saan nakalagay? Wala kang DOJ dito.
Excluded, they are excluded, Mr. Chair, as a uniform personnel po.
Sorry, it's not included here. They're not considered uniform personnel. They are uniform, but they're not covered by MUP. In fact, the MUP bill, insofar as their pension is concerned, does not include the Bureau of Corrections. And if indeed your intention is to include them, then we should include them here. Hmm?
Okay, under section 3, Mr. Chair,
Saan?
it is enumerated
Military
po.
and uniform and the DOJ. Andun siya.
Ayun sa
Pinaka-
dulo.
Oo, yes sir. Kaya lahat ng supposed uniform, DILG, DOJ,
Hmm.
BJM, tsaka yung answer.
So sinasama. So sa bill sa pension ng MUP, sasama na rin namin sila?
You
O
are
hindi sila kasama ha? No, I'm telling you, hindi sila kasama. They're not part of that bill. Principally because GSIS kasi sila. I think Kasi yung mga jail guard, di naman police yun eh. We'll check.
We'll look into that,
We'll
Mr.
check.
Chair.
Okay. Isama na lang natin sa governing principles yung sinasabi nating item and position, item and function, position and function, that they should be congruent.
Sir, basically yan yung nasa everything.
Hmm?
Kasama siya. Pero yung ngayon, isa sa mga issues. Kasama siya dun
Kaya
sa
nga.
committee.
Sinama siya ni Jinggoy.
Kasama siya sa Bucor, BJM. Nambiya kasama dun. sir.
May we hear from the various unions who are here present? Sino-sino po yung mga kinatawan doon?
Sila gusto mo, sir, i-badge mo.
Kailan?
Badge 1, courage, say, hindi lahat nakaupo, sir, kasi
Hindi, bakit may PNA? Hindi naman kayo kasama eh. Pero okay lang. Who's the rep from PNA? Nurses Association, I presume. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to take a mic somewhere? Dito na lang. Urong ka na lang dito, Mavik. Dito na lang, ma'am. Oh. Urong na lang sila. Anong FN yun? Anong ibig sabihin ito mga to?
sir, saan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hindi kayo kasama.
Yes po, opo. I am Dr. Gloria Yang and I am the governor for Philippine Nurses Association of NCR. Yes, hindi kami kasama, which is because ang nurses naman talagang scarcity of nurses na right now. There's a dearth of nurses right now. And if you're going to, well, we're not saying it's going to be downsized, talagang mauubusan din tayo ng nurses.
It will
na-
not be
yeah.
downsized. In fact,
Will
when
be
I right-sized
right-sized,
namin our
yes, and
province,
that's
we
why-
created more nurse and doctor positions.
Yes, and that's why I am really glad that we have this right sizing provision right now. Working nurses are already working all around. Trabaho ng nurse, trabaho din ng midwife, ginagawa na rin nila, nagpapaanak, and sometimes sa mga rural areas, trabaho ng doctors, ginagawa na rin nila, paglilinis ng bedpan and everything. And so, nurses are working all around. And what I really wanted to say in this committee right now is, sana if the DBM can please improve and you study more on the staffing of the nurses, because we understand that there are a lot of unfilled positions. Hindi siya na-fulfill. Ang daming, the hospital need a lot of position open for these nurses. And that's why these nurses are unfilled. They are either put on what we call the job order, magja-job order ng ilang buwan lang. And then after 6 months, pag may experience na, they go abroad. So please, if I would like to request the DBM to please look into the staffing pattern for the nurses, and to sana if we can standardize the salary, the private hospital, public hospital, government hospital, and also the mga LGUs. And also another thing, sir, I'd like to request the DBM to look into is please remove the job order positions for nurses. And also remove the contractualization. Kasi kawawa ang mga nurses.
Ma'am,
Yes,
again,
sir.
from my experience when I was the chief executive of the province of Sorsogon, let's include a provision here too on that. Yusek-Wong, ang problema ng DOH, yung requirement nila sa bilang ng doktor at nurse depende sa level ng hospital, 1, 2, or 3. Sobrang taas at imposibleng ma-meet ng mga local government unit. Pag minit namin yung requirement nila para mag-comply sa DOH, mga 70% ng personnel expenditure ng isang LGU na may ospital, pupunta na lang sa ospital, wala nang may iwan sa LGU. That's the reason, ma'am, why insofar as local hospitals are concerned, hindi finifill-upan yung position. But to comply with DOH, nagki-create ng position. Pero hindi finifill-upan para magamit yung savings sa ibang bagay. At depende kung mahilig sa health yung LGU chief executive, mag-hire siya ng JAW to perform that job. No, that's what's happening. So DOH should also adjust and make more realistic yung kanilang staffing requirements for level 1, 2, and 3 local hospitals, including hospitals operated by DOH itself. Number 2, tama si Doktora, dapat pareho sana yung sweldo ng private at ng national at local dahil nagkokompetensya at nag-aagaw-agawang kami ng nurse. Ang ginawa ko sa amin sa probinsya dati, yung mga nurse na dalaga pa lang, pinaligawan ko na lang sa taga Sorsogon eh. Yung mga binata, manligaw ng taga Sorsogon. Kasi pag doon nakatira, hindi naaalis doon eh. Di ba? Para may doktor kami, para may nurse kami. Kesa mabunot ng iba, di ba? Madala sa ibang lugar. But that is a concern. So let's include a provision somewhere here too, either in the general principles or in the governing principles in that regard. But I completely agree with you, ma'am. We face that problem.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if I
Mr.
may,
Kong.
yes, sir, the updated version includes the nurses and doctors to be in the right sizing program po. Include. Yes, sir. Opo. Because upon meeting with the Office of the President recent during the few months back, because there has been a balloon daw po in the nursing positions that needs to be reviewed all as well by the DOH, including the standards po, what Ma'am Gloria is mentioning, because DBM works hand in hand or closely with the DOH for the qualifications po of nurses and doctors to be.
So to clarify, the inclusion of nurses and medical personnel, hindi lang nursing kasama yung medtech, kasama yung radtech, kasama lahat yon, will now be part of the bill.
Yes, sir. Medical and allied.
But the objective
person.
is to be able to provide permanent positions.
Yes, sir.
That is the intention.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
To clarify, ma'am. Para mabawasan, ma'am, yung magrarally dito. Para wag na kayo kasama. Any other concerns, ma'am? So lahat yun, radtech, medtech, midwife, lahat yun.
Correct, Mr. Chair.
So, and I am glad that the HEA has been given already, but yet in trans. So can you please look at it also? Kasi sasabihin na first trans, 1,500. O ang second trans, 6 months after, ubos na po yun, sir. So if you can please take a look at it so that our nurses will not go abroad anymore, and give them more incentives, give them more benefits, medical assistance like that po, sir. Kasi like nurses nga siya, nagwo-work doon sa ospital. Pag nagkasakit siya, babayaan. You know, I hope you understand the heartaches of the grievances of the nurses also. We need them here. We need them all here po.
Kindly take note, Yusek Wong, duly noted, ma'am.
Noted, Mr. Chair. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
And this is not a very mga nurses, pakilagay na lang mo sa professional level, hindi yung sa agricultural level.
Saan yun, ma'am?
Yeah, they were saying na it was even in dati kasi sir sa Saudi also no, under sa technical daw ang nurses, but because there's a need for more nurses, so tinaas na nila. So please look upon it, because these are the grievances also coming from the Council of Elderlies ng nurses.
Ma'am,
Kung-
ma'am, Doctor,
Opo.
classify as agricultural ang nurses?
Opo.
Nino?
Anong classification yun?
Technicians tayo, we are not professional.
Sinong nagka-classify niyan? Who did the classification?
Anong agency? The previous DBM of our Council of Elderlies pa po yun. So
No, it's
Oo
not
po.
PSC.
hindi DBM
Sorry,
daw.
PRC?
No, hindi po. PRC, nurses and any professional na profession that undergo licensure exam are all considered as professional. Pero pagdating po dito, nire-reclassify sa agriculture para siguro I don't know. Oo, kaya po sir, oo.
Ano, Yusek Wong, may ganun?
Mr. Chair, as far as the DBM is concerned, there's no such classification of nurses in the agricultural.
If you
position.
ma'am, kindly
Yeah,
validate
we will
it.
let you know kasi
Send
that
us.
is why daw po sir, during that time, ang salary grade po ng nurses, salary grade 11 lang. Kaya ngayon, we're fighting for salary grade 15. Thank you.
Yes
If you
po,
could help
it is,
us out.
it
Please.
is being implemented na po ang SG-15, Mr. Chair.
For
for the
government.
idle
Ako,
nurses.
SG-15 kami.
Oo.
Sa local,
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Okay, thank you,
Thank
Doctora.
you, sir. Thank you.
Representative from FNU. What's FNU? What does FNU stand for, ma'am? Same. Okay. Do you have other concerns, ma'am, in addition to what was brought up? Ma'am, go to the mic. And your name, please, ma'am, for the record.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Eleanor Nolasco, ang Pangulo ng Filipino Nurses United. Nabanggit po ni Dr. Gloria yung some nurses are classified as agricultural. Actually, in the labor code, nurses are classified as non-agricultural workers, for which reason they are given just the minimum wage. So for the longest time, we've been asking labor to please classify them accordingly because they are professional and PRC accredited practitioners. So that's the reason why nurses in the private sector receive minimum wage, no? At ang panawagan po nga namin, kagaya ng Philippine Nurses Association, i-standardize to 50,000 starting salary ang mga nurses kaya nasa pribado sila o pampublikong sektor. At saka yun nga po ang sinasabi namin na sa matagal na panahon, pinapanawagan na namin sa DOH na sila mismo ang magpatupad ng mga standards na kanilang isineset, specifically yung safe nurse-patient ratio. And on the part of DBM naman, napakalaki pa rin ng utang nyo sa mga nurses, no, sa pagbibigay ng HEA at iba pang mga benepisyo. So kung right sizing po, sa aming tingin, matagal ng issue yan. Ang problema, hindi ipinapatupad ng pamahalaan natin.
We will relate to Senator Villanueva your concern, ma'am, and for him to file the corresponding bill to amend the labor code. Kasi it's an old PD. The labor code is an old PD. So of then President Marcos. So we will go over it, ma'am. And we'll make the necessary amendment. Pero sa totoo lang, ma'am, kahit anong classification nun, kung gustong bigyan ng mas mataas sa minimum wage, kayang gawin yan.
At saka
But we will correct that, nevertheless.
Opo, sir. Your Honor, sa rin sa LGU, hindi lahat ho ng LGU nagpapatupad ng salary
ko.
grade 50.
Kami, nagpatupad kami pa.
Kaya nga may
Sumunod ka rin,
migration rin tayo from private to government hospitals and from small LGUs to big
But
government
that's the reason why we
hospitals.
got our nurses too.
Because
Kasi
you
kung tiga
gave,
sa amin lang, kulang yung supply.
oo nga.
But that's the reason why we got our nurses too, because we implemented it.
Oh,
So others na kulang ng nurse, kung gusto talaga nila, they can actually do it.
yeah, if they wish to.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Marami pong salamat.
Ano po itong PIPSEA? Sir, please, get a mic. Your name, sir, and what does PIPSEA stand for? Philippine siguro yung unang PN.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Secretary Gatchalian, Senator Gatchalian, thank you, sir. And the colleagues, resource persons. Miguel Maga Jr., Your Honor, PIPSEA Secretary General, Philippine Independent Public Sector Employees Association. Our membership, sir, is based largely in local government units all over the country. Well, I just want to be candid.
LGUs.
Yes, sir. Although we also accommodate other branches of government, but we focus mainly on LGU, sir. Thank you, right. And I just want to be candid about it. I admire being candid as well and noting all those, shall I say, irregularities in the bureaucracy. But first and foremost, LGUs on the same note that you have mentioned earlier, especially, sir, the classes of the LGUs, our members from all these LGUs, especially in the far-flung areas, 6th class, 5th class municipalities, suffers a lot because they don't get the same salaries as compared in the first class and the urban. They have the same work, but they don't have the same pay. Okay, that's first and foremost. I hope that will be included as well in for the revision of the local government.
Sir, I'll address that first.
Yes.
The problem is, yung sweldo po ng mga LGU employees and officials, ang nagbabayad yung LGU.
Yes, sir.
At kaya 6th class, 5th class siya, ibig sabihin, mababa yung
Income.
income ng LGU. Kung ipantay po namin yun sa first class, wala hong pambabayad yung LGU. So, the question is, where will the money come from to pay for the differential? I agree with you, but
Thank you.
how do we implement it? Saan manggagaling ho yung pera to equalize it?
Yes, sir, but I believe and I respect that you have all the bright minds there in the legislature to address this one. You have also the Mandanas ruling. You have already the functions of the national government is being thrown out. and being to the Jews as well, but you don't have money.
Last ruling, sir,
Mm.
I computed that. The total additional ERA given by virtue of the Mandanas ruling amounted to approximately 770 billion. But the devolution EO of former President Duterte actually devolved nearly double that amount to the LGUs.
Yes.
So totoo lang, hindi naramdaman ng LGU yung dagdag Under PBBM, nung in-increase niya yung budget ng NIA, irrigation, nakasama sa devolution order ni dating Pangulong Duterte, by executive fiat, binawi na ng national government yung irrigation Pero sa totoo lang, yung tinransfer na function, mas mahal pa dun sa Mandanas
Yes.
And then, as if to make matters worse, COVID hit us, bumagsak na mga 16 to 18% yung collections at yung effect nun, yung ERA na rin ng mga LGUs na nararamdaman 3 years after. So kung tumigil yung effect ng COVID ng 2023, 2022, mararamdaman yan hanggang this year pa. Kung may epekto pa rin ng 2023, mararamdaman yan hanggang next year pa.
Yes, sir.
So again, if you can help us to think of how to fund it.
Yes,
how
sir.
to
I understand.
equalize it.
I understand the predicament. But, well, we trust your wisdom, sir, on that one. Especially, sir, the classes of municipalities, LRDU, sir. I just suppose it's already in your hands since you're aware of our sentiments insofar
the gap?
as,
How far is the gap?
sir, it's huge.
Same position.
60
Department head ng first class, department head,
35% less, sir. 35% less on the sixth class versus first class. Lesser. They only get 65% if you're in the sixth class as compared to the first class.
So kung 100,000 ang department head, 65,000 ang
The sixth class, sir.
sa sixth class.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Sir, I really submit. Please try to look into it.
We'll look into it, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Quite frankly, it's a difficult.
We owe it to our members, sir, in the leads. And one, I just want to be brief about this, sir. My observation is that the right sizing issue, it has been ongoing since the start, maybe of President Quirino, and then every administration thereafter. We have this. It's kind of an inherent, compelled action to be made by the administration that comes in. We viewed it or we perceived it as a mere smokescreen cover to eliminate those in the positions that they don't like or haven't been of service to them during election, and so that they can change it with their own people as a political payment, political patronage. That's how we viewed it, with all due respect. Because if really honest and to be truthful about it, this resizing must have been done with impact assessment before anything could be done and be proposed again. So how can we be sure that this proposal or made stipulations by the DBM and other concerned agencies that really it is needed to correct the measure, corrective measures so that we can really provide good quality public services and then at the same time earn savings for the government. That's how we viewed it, sir. It is not really the honest and sincere rationale insofar as this bill or any other bill insofar as right is concerned from the very start from the President Quirino and then up to this time, sir. That all. Thank you so much.
To be fair, sir, yung co-terminus sa presidente, pwede niyang tanggalin anytime. And these are the heads of the agencies. I don't think the president will meddle himself with permanent employees na mas mababa. But you raised a valid point. Yuse Kwong, I saw that in the interpellations of the right-sizing bill in the last Congress. Meron ba kayong study, whether you call it impact analysis, as to why you're doing it now, why you want to do it now, and what are the targets, if any? May study ba yan? Or naisipan lang ni Secmina na parang okay to?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Currently, we have tapped the ADB for a sectoral study and review, sir.
But it's still ongoing.
Yes, sir.
So-
Hopefully by March or April, we'd be able to get some the results that we could furnish the copy to the committee to further back our data on which agencies or
Yusek,
how to right size. Yes.
Magre-resume ang Kongreso ng January 13. Mag-adjourn kami ng February 2. Magre-resume uli kami ng May 20. Mag-adjourn kami 2 weeks lang yung session and mag-adjourn kami ng June 2. Kahit anong simula natin ngayon, magsisimula uli sa simula yan pag hindi natin natapos yan bago mag-June 2. Is there a way that you can, again, yun ang problema namin sa Kongreso. Minamadali nyo kami, tapos wala naman yung study nga, wala pa eh. So, paano natin
So
gagawin?
we have a cost-benefit analysis, Mr. Chair,
Mhm.
that we will submit. We are updating the numbers lang po because this was based on last year's deliberations. And we will submit a cost-benefit analysis.
And also, sir, I agree with the President Quirino thing. We will include timelines as to when each agency should have a submission and for how long the committee we will be creating will be given to act on these recommendations. Hindi naman pwede kasing may nakahalumbiting espada palagi sa leeg ng mga, di ba, iba't ibang opisyal at ahensya na anytime pwede mong pugutan ng ulo. I mean, dapat dumating yung punto, di ba, na makakahinga na sila. Ito na yon, ganito na yon, na hindi nila kailangan kabahan. So we will be including timelines in the bill.
No,
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Senator Gatchalian.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just want to pursue that questioning. In fact, I wrote it down in my notes. As you mentioned, this is an administration bill, and this is viewed by the administration as vital to the operations of government. So my first question, actually, I was going to ask DBM is, what is the expected savings or efficiency measure that we plan to achieve through this bill? I hope that this is not only fashionable, Mr. Chairman, no? Dahil alam niyo naman sa US, they created the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE, which is which is geared towards reducing, basically right-sizing and making government efficient. And then in Argentina, through President Milei, they also downsized government. They removed, I think, 8 different departments and merged it to into super departments. So, of course, that's the trend, and there's logic in that trend. But in our case, how much savings are we talking about? Are we looking at substantial savings because DBM has, through its review, has studied that we can actually generate savings instead of raising taxes? Dalawa kasing equation, Mr. President. You raise taxes so that you have revenues and you can use that revenues to spend, or create savings and in the same manner use that savings to spend. No? So in this particular case, how much savings are we looking at?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we had the figures from our cost-benefit analysis study. If you just allow us some time to get it, it's with the staff here lang po, lumabas lang po. But we can submit to the committee if needed po. We will submit to the committee.
This is a very important question, Yusek. I think that will lay the premise for the arguments for this bill. And yes, please submit it to us, the most updated cost benefit. In fact, initial yan. I'm sure as you go along, marami pa tayong makikita dyan. And
Yes, sir.
that amount will probably increase or be adjusted as we go along.
Sir, initial data lang po muna. If 3% are right-sized from this program, around 3 billion pesos worth of savings po ang ma-generate. Mr.
Maliit
Chair.
lang, 3 billion out of 6.3 trillion budget.
Yeah, it
Not so
depends
much.
po on the tier, on the number of the the employees or the program that will be right sized. If, for example, at 7% will be right sized, it will be the net savings would
15
be
billion.
approximately 8.7 billion.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes, but you say kung it's an incomplete figure because you have to pay separation din eh. You will not realize that on the first year that you abolish certain positions eh, because you have to pay separation. Maglalabas ka muna ng pera bago mo kitain yan eh. So on that assumption, include also in your answer to Senator Win today or at a future time, kailan mo realize yung 3 billion if 3% is right size or if 3% avail? Because you have a cash out also eh.
For the separation.
Di ba? And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Secretary Perez. Senator, when Secretary Perez will play an important role because in theory, kung nagbawas ng red tape ang gobyerno, magbabawas din ng opisyal at empleyado ang gobyerno. Kasi di na kailangan gawin eh. Di ba? I think that's the reason why he is part of the committee, right? That will decide. But when we did it in our local government unit, prior sa pag-ISO namin, we engaged the services of UP and CPAG para isa-isahin namin yung mga posisyon in the provincial government of Sorsogon and all the departments, including all of our 9 hospitals. Now, kailan nyo gagawin yan? Sinong gagawa niyan? Because you cannot go about this without doing that.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, we are currently just updating our figures po. So that come session time, we'll be prepared to
Para
give
pag
the
tinanong ako ni
necessary
Senator Win, masasagot ko
to
na
give
siya.
the necessary information. Thank you. Mr.
Mr. Clerk, do you have examples, for example, of offices or agencies that you think are not attuned to the times or is viewed redundant?
Sir, Mr. Chair, we had a previous engagement po with some with consultants of studying different sectors without attributing any maybe just submit the study, sir. So not to
Because
make
in
any kind of-
one good thing about the budget deliberation, Mr. Chairman, is it gives us a good view of the internal workings of government. Parang yung bitukan ng gobyerno nakikita namin. One of the things that always comes up during budget deliberation is the role of the Optical Media Board. With all due respect to the OMB, kasi yung trabaho ng OMB nanguhuli ng CD. No? Pero alam naman natin, wala nang gumagamit ng CD ngayon. Di ba? Puro YouTube na ngayon. No? But that always comes up. Every budget deliberation, some senator will ask, what's the role of the OMB? But then again, I saw in in the different departments, at least the smallest department will get 300 million, more or less. No, and then you have a bunch of those 300 million offices or agencies operating under government. In fact, the committee that or the department that I chair, not department, but the committee that I chair, the Committee on Education, we took a look some of the agencies as a Galban, like for example, the National Council for Children's Television. No? Pag tinatanong ko yung mga bata, hindi naman na sila nanonood ng television, YouTube na rin yung pinapanood nila eh. Diba? So we have to review the mandate of these agencies. The National Book Development Board, of course, the book development is also important, but we all know the internet now is the source of information for the majority of our students. So my point of the matter there is, and all of these departments receive either 300 million, 400 million. And during the budget deliberation, Mr. Chairman, nakikita ko yung tendency na pinipilit kasi ng mga department gumawa ng mga projects to justify their existence. No? Talagang pipilitin lang nila, gagawa sila ng kahit anong project para sabihin na kailangan nyo kami. No? Dahil itong project importante. So will that be part of the review? And will these agencies be covered by, I saw in the functions note, the abolition, because these departments are created by law. No? So will this law or this bill uh, that will give the power to the president to abolish, can the president abolish this type of agencies? Again, with all due respect with these agencies, subject to further studies. But my initial encounter with them during the hearings, parang obsolete na yung kanilang mga mandates dahil we're now in the digital world. So sakop ba ng abolition power to abolish this type of departments?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you for that question. Yes, it is part of the study that the committee will do so that it will be able to recommend the proper or necessary steps. That includes to review the mandates of these different agencies without any attribution po na, for example po, on right sizing the agencies is yung mga parks natin, National Park, Intramuros Administration. These have similar functions that can maybe be looked into. In fact, if they can be merged or somewhat transformed into a more responsive agency, not limiting to their current jurisdictions.
Will this law enable the president to abolish this type of offices without amending or repealing the law that created them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then the president is also empowered to transfer the employees,
Yes,
quote unquote, right size.
part of their
bureaucracy.
part of the mandates of the CREB or the committee is to reskill and retool the employees that needs to be transfer or merged or consolidated to other agencies, Your Honor.
My understanding is the power to create and abolish is precisely being delegated by Congress to the president under this bill. That is also the reason why I wanted to put a sunset clause, because it cannot be ongoing. It has to come to an end at some point in time. Now, if the next president should want to do this again, then it's a simple matter of amending this bill. But right now, what I'm willing to give is a sunset clause to the existing president to do this until the end of his term. That is the direction that we are headed towards. But an example, Senator Win, is NAIA. Halos lahat ng trabaho ng taga-NAIA ginagawa na ng privatized entity nung pinrivatize yan ng gobyerno. Hanggang ngayon, andun pa rin lahat ng empleyado walang ginagawa. Wala, hindi sila kinuha. Hindi naman sila kukunin ng private. Baka mas inefficient pa nga eh. But still, they're there. When we privatized it, there was no concomitant plan on the part of the DOTR to downsize or to get the people there and transfer them to other airports that clearly lack personnel. Lahat sila gusto nasa NAIA. Diba? But these are examples that this bill perhaps can be used to fast track whatever actions need to be undertaken. Another example, nag-right size ka rin ba ng mayor ka? Hindi. No, I'll give you an example. May ambulance driver ako. 3 ambulansya na yung natototal niya. Pero siya, buhay pa din. Nakakatatlong ambulansya na siya. He's 63, 64 years old, pero he should not be driving anymore. At yung biyahe pa, Maynila, Sorsogon, yung mga emergency medical personnel namin, yung nagmaman ng ambulansya, hindi naman pwedeng 63, 64, di ba, hanggang pag-retire. So what we did was, those were some of the positions we right-sized, included a very high package, compensation package, na casual sila para palaging malusog, malakas. Yung mga kaminero ko, yung mga tagalinis. Nung upo kong governor, dumi ng mga hospital, pinalinis ko, 1 linggo na, 2 linggo na, madumi pa rin nung tinignan ko. Tapos minsan pinanood ko, ang tatanda na pala lahat. Hindi pwedeng, di ba, hindi pwedeng permanent yung kaminero performing a job that a 20, 30-year-old should be doing. But again, you should compensate them too, na mas mataas, para makahabol sila, makabawi sila. But these are some things that government should look at. And is spread over in almost every agency. DAR would be another example. Can you imagine having a department performing reform as a permanent line agency? Para nating inaming, hindi natin matatapos yan eh. di ba, at some point in time, di ba, agrarian reform must come to an end. Functions have to be transferred already to DA, for example, para sa support services na. Di ba? Kasi tapos na yung coverage ng land reform eh. Hanggang ngayon, dahil nandun sila, bago ka makabili ng agricultural land na sumusobra sa 5 hektarya, kailangan mo pa rin ng permiso ng DAR, which technically is no longer applicable, ah. Because under existing law, tapos na yung coverage ng land reform. You can legally acquire properties more than the limits set by the agrarian reform law. Technically, ah. So these things, I hope you hire an expert to go over this humongous task of identifying the function together with ARTA and be able to get the best and the brightest to remain in government, as stated earlier, and to perform the functions that are needed to be performed by government. If I may proceed, ACT. Sir, Mr. Queta?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Vladimir Quito po, National Chairperson po ng Alliance of Concerned Teachers. Ito po yung pinakamalaking union ng mga public school teachers sa Pilipinas. At in fact, sa Sorsogon po ay malakas ang Alliance of Concerned Teachers.
Exempted kayo, ha? Pero
Yes,
go.
yeah, tama po kayo doon, no? Ang teacher po ay hindi kabilang, pero kami po ay apektado. No?
Go.
Malinaw po 'yon dahil nga po ang teacher ay may kasama po ang tinatawag nating mga education support personnel sa loob po ng mga paaralan. At sa katunayan, sinasabi po noong 2018 Teacher Workload Balance Study na 50 po, no, ancillary tasks ang naka-assign po sa mga teacher. Kung kaya ito po ang dahilan kung bakit nabuo po Independent Order 2 Series of 2004 noong January 26 na kung saan dapat tanggalin na, no, immediately removal of admin tasks from public school teachers. At ito po mapapatunayan po ng ating kasama sa DepEd, no, nag-create po sila ng mga posisyon pero hindi pa rin po ito sapat. Sa katunayan, ang kanilang mga resulta ay kinaklustering po nila yung mga tinatawag nating admin tasks. Kaya natili po sa ground po na may mga teacher, taga-bilang po ng bulate, nagpipiding program, school nurse, guidance counselor, registrar, and so on and so on and so forth. Kaya ito rin po ang sinabi doon sa POA report na pinubunan po ni Senator Villanueva. Sinabi niya, noong 2013 hanggang 2017, 1,500 teachers po ang umalis po sa bansa. Ano po ang dahilan? Maliban po sa napakababa ng sahod. Ito ay sa dami ng ginagawa ng teacher labas sa pag-check, pag-advisory, and so on and so forth. Kaya sa paningin ng Alliance of Concerned Teachers, ito pong right sizing ay wrong sizing. Kaya tingin po natin, ang gusto natin ay the whole of government support or policy sa paano paraan. Create more plantilla positions, mag-rate ng teachers, education support personnel, at ganoon din po sa other agency. Kung meron niya pong tatanggalin, ito, pabiro lang po sa ating mga kapatid sa military. Bakit po naglagay ng military personnel sa Department of Education? Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat.
Sir, Secretary Perez, hindi ba pinapakialaman ng ARTA yung matagal ng problema ng teacher yan eh? Ang dami nilang sinasubmit na report, lahat sulat kamay, wala naman kasing computer na binibigay sa kanila at hindi pa sila digital. At sa totoo lang, malamang sa malamang walang taga-DepEd na nagbabasa nun ha. So dami ba naman nun? Kaya ba nilang basahin yun? Submit lang ng submit. Submit sa superintendent, submit ng superintendent sa division, submit sa Maynila. Actually, I even doubt if someone is looking at that. Given the quality of education the Philippines has, I'm sure hindi nila ginagawa yung trabaho nila doon. Have you looked into that, sir? Has ARTA looked into that? Because, again, red tape does not only pertain to a private citizen enlisting the services of government. Red tape also includes certain redundant and useless functions that government personalities and employees are performing na sa totoo lang, wala namang halaga eh. At wala namang nagbabasa eh. Sir, please.
Mr. Senate President, the primary mandate of ARTA is to promote bureaucratic efficiency. And in order to do that, our office conducts regulatory impact assessments of every regulations that are brought to us. So when DepEd asks ARTA for any regulation that need to be assessed, we are more than willing to do it. Part of our mandate also is for process improvement of government agencies. And if you get to us, we will be more than willing to do so.
Has DepEd asked you?
Not yet, Mr. President.
Tong loob naman, ayaw nilang aminin kailangan nila ng tulong. Paano pag kami chairman ng education, no?
Of course, if the Senate President would ask us, we will
Sir,
be more than willing to
Sir,
do it.
please, because again, it's not only lessening the burden of private individuals asking government assistance and or service. It also includes government officials and employees being able to perform their jobs better. Again, ang pangunahing trabaho ng teacher, magturo sa kabataan at estudyante sa loob ng classroom. Hindi mag-fill up ng mga report na wala naman nagbabasa. Sa totoo lang. At alam ko for a fact na maraming sinasubmit talaga ang bawat teacher. Ubus talaga oras. Ubus oras. Kasi sa totoo lang, hindi sila manghihingi ng dagdag ng sweldo kung babawasan natin yung trabaho nila. Tama ba? O tamo, oo daw. Tamo. Sabi sa'yo. Totoo naman eh.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, for
With that, Mr. President, we will look into it.
Kindly look into
Thank
it,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
And then we'll talk again. Yes,
Yeah,
Yusek Wong.
Mr. Chair, just to respond quickly. For 2025, we have allocated 10,000 non-teaching personnel positions for the DepEd, and we have a pending scheduled 10,000 more for 2026. So that is to help alleviate the workload, teaching and non-teaching workload of the school personnel po of DepEd.
Sana nga kasabay nun pagbawal sa DepEd na gumawa ng trabaho ng hindi ng teacher, yung teacher. Again superintendent, secretary niya, assistant niya, lahat yung teacher. Bantay sa kantin, teacher. Hindi, that should not be the case. And will this be downloaded to all the divisions? Or nasa central office na naman?
All elementary and secondary schools, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
All elementary and secondary
Yung
magkakaroon?
10,000 po. Opo.
Wow, kulang pa rin yun.
Kulang pa rin. So that's why we still have a pending programming po for 2026.
Because if you have what, 42,000 barangays? Tama?
Mr. Chair, we have already created 24,000 non-teaching personnel in the previous years
No,
po.
but what I'm saying is if there are 42,000 barangays, more or less, tama, Win? Huh?
42,004.
42,004. Then, halos kada barangay, except yung mga nasa sentro, di ba, may isang elementary school yan. Yung sa sentro, may central school yan na mas malaki. So, tanggalin mo na 10% roughly. So, about 36,000 schools. So, you need about 36,000 items to have at least one each.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair, you are correct po. So previously you have 24,000,
Plus
then
10,000
10,000
sa
for
mga tigisa
2025,
tayo.
and 2026 po meron pa hong nakaprogram for 10,000.
47,000
Yes, sir.
schools daw, including
Opo.
high school.
The objective is to have one additional one. Opo. That is,
Gagawing alalay ng principal yan eh.
based on the consultations po with EDCOM 2 also.
Sige. Any other concerns, sir?
Yun lang po. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you po.
On the record, umuo ka pag binawasan yung trabaho, hindi na kailangan dagdagan yung sweldo ng teacher, ah. Di ba? Sinabi mo yun, ah. Touch move yun. May we hear from Courage? Yung pangalan po nyo at saka, well, yung organisasyon nyo, yung Courage na.
Magandang umaga po, si
Good morning.
Manuel Baclagon, Secretary General ng Courage at spokesperson na rin ng Tanggol Trabaho Network. 5 points lang po ang gusto naming sabihin. Nasabit naman po namin yung mga position paper dyan. Ayan. So, pero yung 5 points lang po yung may mention namin dito. Yung una, yung assumption na bloated ang bureaucracy, we disagree with that. We have on record, may ginawang pag-aaral ng Courage na based from the ILO Data Explorer study, ng Pilipinas ay below average na nasa 3.41% o 3 kawani sa bawat 100 mamamayan ang ratio niya. So, how can we say na ano siya, na bloated? So, second, right sizing, merging, privatization.
Sir, bago kayo pumunta sa second, ilan po ba dapat? Ano po
And
ba
that is
yung,
precisely the point.
ano po ba yung world best practices kung ilan dapat ang empleyado sa kada pribadong tao?
7 po.
Saan po nakasulat yun? Binulong lang sa inyo nung katabi nyo eh. Copying yan eh.
Nagparinig po kasi. Meron po kaming ano. Andito po yung study. Hindi ko. Alam po, andito naman po yung study. Hindi ko lang po mabasa kasi masyado maliliit eh. So, we can present that.
Yes, sir.
Miss, meron naman po kasi talaga. Can I
So
proceed?
you're talking at a population of 100 million, there should be 7 million na government employees, officials taking care of the 100 million. At 120 million, papalo na tayo dun eh. Bago matapos ang termino ni Pangulong Marcos, papalo tayo ng 120 million. So may karagdagan pang 3%, 10%,
3 million tayo.
600, and the 7.6 million. Roughly, kulang-kulang 8 million.
So,
Alright.
which brings us to the second point, right sizing. So, right sizing, bakit renames natin na bloated? So, therefore, dapat ang right sizing, magdadagdag ka, hindi ka magbabawas. Yun po yung...
Kasama po sa definition ng right sizing yun, pero yung assumption
Oo.
nga bloated. Tama po kayo?
Okay, so nag-agree po tayo doon. Pero bakit po may mga exclusion? Kung talagang mag-right size tayo, ano mga governing principles niyan?
May mga
Anong
bar-
framework? Anong
May mga
target?
baril kasi sila eh.
Ha?
Yung in-include nila, walang mga baril. Yung mga in-exclude, may mga...
So ano bakit po? Anong basis po natin sa ganon? Bakit ganyan yung exclusion, inclusion natin? Ano yung framework? Ano governing principles? Ano ang target natin talaga? Bakit natin ginagawa to? So yung second point, yung mga separation packages, costly yan. Tama po, dapat include yan. Pati yung sinasabing 3% ay 3, kanina po ng DBM na 3 billion o 3 savings. Yung sabi po nung simula ni Secretary Pangandaman, mga 6 billion pa nga po ano niya ang expected savings. So pagka savings na sinasabi, so talagang true reason natin dito sa right sizing nato, magtipid. Yun po lang naman yung Tapos may mga separation packages, may mga kumbaga safety nets para sa mga permanent. Pero yung mga contractuals at contract of service po, wala. Laging sila unang matatanggal niya kahit may right sizing o wala. Pero yung claims na government needs less manpower, through the years, nag-increase po ang number ng cost of service workers. A few years ago, 600,000 lang siya. Ngayon, 900,000 na siya. So, anong we do not need more personnel? And last, every new administration undertakes streamlining to cut down on personnel service cost of governance and public service delivery, but pays less attention to other portions of government functions, government budgeting such as foreign debt servicing, top-heavy bureaucracy, corruption-prone budget allocations. Bakit kung talagang nagtitipid tayo, hindi dapat dumuna, ba't parating mga kawani ang ating ang laging bawasan? At ito pa po, bakit rank and file, hindi yung matataas? Medyo ano po yata yan, pagka nag-aano po tayo ng mga batas, medyo.
May point
So,
naman kayo doon. May point kayo.
Di po ba? So, do not blame us if we will protest this bill. We are forced to oppose this bill to protect the rank and file employees. So, yan po yung position naman ng Courage.
Yuse Kong, can you respond? Bakit in-exempt teachers, klaro? Pero yung medical personnel kanina, di ba sabi mo, babaguhin na natin, sasama na natin sila. Kasi nga ang objective nito, hindi naman magbawas, kasama yung kumuha ng tama at dapat at kailangan. So sinama mo na yung medical personnel. Bakit hindi natin sinasama yung teacher din at yung lahat na. Yung may mga baril.
For those that we are men in uniform personnel, sir, this deals with the national security of the country. Therefore, there are separate arrangements or standards based on
No, right now,
the-
Yusek
we have.
De Leon, sir,
Yes, sir.
right now, isn't the armed forces top heavy?
No, sir. Hindi po because
How many generals do you have right now?
based on the recent approved
Yes,
law,
sir.
there's 243.
How many general positions or functions do you have right now?
That is the same. That is the key position, sir. Which
Sir,
are,
you have floating generals. You have generals that don't do anything. Hindi sa 1:1.
Hindi po, sir. Those are the identified key positions that command the units and the senior staff level positions in the armed
Sir, I'll
forces.
give you an example. Yung brigade is supposed to be a general position, but the
Yes.
person occupying it is a colonel.
Yes, Your Honor. And
But may rule kasi kayo, parang police, na dapat i-occupy muna niya yung position bago siya maging.
that is true, Your
Di
Honor.
ba? It's an unwritten rule.
Yes,
So, lahat ng brigade commander sa unang pagkaka-appoint nila, colonel yon.
yes, Your Honor.
Hindi siya mapopromote na general hanggat hindi siya nag-occupy ng posisyon ng general.
That is true.
So, ano yung nangyari sa general na galing doon?
Aakyat po yan, sir. Aakyat po to the next higher position to be occupied.
Aakyat to the
Which,
next.
yes, it could be, there are two options that they could be elevated to higher position, or if they are satisfy the tenure in position based on the law,
Sir,
they
I'll give
will
you an
be
example.
retired.
Sa division, general din, di ba? May rango ng general.
Two-star position, Your Honor.
Yung deputy niya, 1 star.
One-star position, Your Honor.
Ilang general pa yung nasa division below him? Wala na? Yung dalawa lang ba yung position ng
In the division headquarters, dalawa lang po, Your Honor.
dalawa lang?
Yes, Your
Di
Honor.
ba? But in theory, again, ginagawa niyo ba yung pagdagdag ng general positions?
Prescribe po ng batas, Your Honor.
Yes, nanghihingi kayo sa amin. Nanghihingi kayo noong nakaraan, di ba? Pinagdagdagan nyo eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba? Ang laki ng dinagdag nga eh.
Yes, Your Honor. That's 1.25% of the table of organization.
Yes. But the main reason for that, sir, is actually when we extended the retirement age. Kasi, di ba? Ang daming may extend, di ba magre-retire, ang daming hindi magiging general. Di ba? Ito yung affected pa eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Makokorek yan at some point, di ba?
Opo, sir.
Pero ngayon may distortion ka ngayon eh.
Meron pa po transition yan, Your Honor, and,
Exactly.
and due time, mari-reach po yung solution to that
Now, the
concern.
same is true now. The same is true now for the medical personnel. Kung sinama na bigla ng DBM ang medical personnel para makakreate ng mga position at item, di ba, na hindi na dumadaan sa batas, ayaw nyo bang isama din kayo para makakreate na rin kayo ng mga posisyon na kailangan nyo at magtanggal din ng posisyon na hindi nyo kailangan? Dahil sabi mo nga, nagsishift tayo from internal security to external security. Ngayon, kung dadaan pa kayo sa batas, bago nyo magawa yan, matagal po yan. Baka mas mabilis kung padaanin nyo rito, but the catch is, kailangan covered kayo. What do you think? What do you think, sir? If it involves national security, I think it's better if the executive decides on it. Rather than presenting it before Congress, defending it in public, and telling us why we need 10 more generals. And why we're creating this office and what is the purpose of that office. Di ba? Baka mas madaling internally padaanin nyo rito, lalabas na lang yung opisina, di ba? At nasa staffing pattern na bigla. What's your call, sir?
Kaya nga, sir, Your Honor, that is why we express our support dito sa batas, sa bill na ito, for us to be able to address our concerns.
So do you want to be included?
But yung sa Armed Forces of the Philippines should not
Sa
be
Armed
included
Forces.
because of the security, evolving security. Masyado pong dynamic to be tied into law. That is why, based on the Executive Order 292, nasa Secretary of National Defense to determine the size and structure of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Nasa kanya po based on the existing security conditions of the state, which is very dynamic. Kaya ang nakikita po namin, kung ita-tied up po natin ito sa batas, ay baka po hindi maka-respond appropriately ang inyong sandatang lakas.
Sir, dinedelegate namin sa presidente ha. walang nakaspecify dito sa bill na to kung ilan, anong opisina, ng anumang ahensya. In fact, we are delegating the power of Congress to create offices to the President. Which is contrary to what you're saying na nilalagay namin sa batas. Hindi In fact, dinedelegate namin sa Presidente yung kapangyarihan, again, kung ako tatanungin within a certain span of time dapat, na mag-create ng mga bagong opisina, bagong posisyon sa loob ng sandatahang lakas para matugunan yung kasalukuyan at hinaharap na pangangailangan ng bansa natin pagdating sa external security ng bansa. Again, look into it. May point si Sir, ano ulit yung pangalan mo? Nung ating kinatawan mula sa Courage, may point siya kung sinama natin yung medical personnel dahil ang objective natin matugunan yung mga concerns at pangailangan at hamon sa larangan ng profesyong yun, baka pareho din to And the same rule applies for the PNP Same rule applies for all the uniformed personnel. Anong tingin mo, Yusek Wong? Again, I will reiterate. The main reason why right sizing got such a bad rep is because of your assumption in the explanatory note that the bureaucracy is bloated. Diba? But as you admitted, right sizing does not only mean abolishing positions, reducing the number, it can include creating new positions, new offices, upgrading, upskilling, etc. If that is the purpose talaga, diba? Hindi abolition, then there should be no concerns on the part of the uniformed personnel. Diba? Because ang lumalabas ito parang yung joke ko nga kanina, diba? Kaya hindi sila sinama, may baril sila Kasi kung objective mo nga, kung tingin nila bawas